Abruzzo is a particularly enchanting region because of its ideal geographical location, its fascinating history, artistic patrimony and breathtaking natural wonders. Abruzzo embraces the highest and hugest massifs of central Italy.
Era stato detto anche dal direttore dell'Istituto Italiano di Cultura che Bradt si interessi e cominci la sua collana solitaria dall'Abruzzo può sembrare una scelta singolare, ma in realtà è una scelta secondo noi dettata dalle caratteristiche di questa terra, che ha un rapporto particolarissimo con l'Inghilterra. Gli inglesi sono, e comunque il mondo anglosassone, particolari presenti nella nostra regione sono la popolazione europea che ha più acquistato nei borghi medievali di questa regione straordinaria delle strutture private, 130 km di costa marina, splendida perché vi sono circa 13 bandiere blu che sono un particolare riconoscimento per la qualità delle acque del territorio, e dopo la Toscana è la regione italiana col più alto numero di borghi italiani più belli. E quindi a immaginare questo piccolo tesoro che questa grande guida ci consente finalmente di scoprire in un territorio che prima non aveva uno strumento così importante di diffusione, per cui noi riteniamo questa guida e il lavoro in contemporanea e in collaborazione, in partnership che abbiamo fatto con Bradt, uno strumento essenziale per la diffusione del nostro territorio in un contesto internazionale come quello che Bradt serve.
It really is true that it's only by visiting a place that you can really understand it, get to know it, and know what it's all about. And particularly when you meet the people of a place, I think that's how you best really get under the skin of it, understanding their views, opinions, concerns, and in the case of Abruzzo, understanding their own passion for what is really what's been described as a little gem. There are many ways to describe it. It's just such a fantastic part of Italy. The company originally started focusing on areas further afield, South America, Africa, places that tourism was needed the most. So we were on a mission to encourage tourists to visit areas of the world where the tourist economy really can make a difference. We did do a lot in Eastern Europe, but Western Europe, there was always a feeling, well, actually, you know, everybody else is covering Western Europe, and what can we do that's different? So when Luciano, the author of the guide, wrote to us and said, I come from Abruzzo, and I think you should have a guide to Abruzzo, we didn't immediately take him up on it. We get a lot of letters from people saying we should publish guides to their regions, and as you can imagine, we do have to look fairly carefully at those that we might go ahead with. The more we spoke to Luciano and the more we found out about Abruzzo, we realised that here was a part of the world, a part of Italy, a part of Western Europe, that actually, despite, from the UK's point of view, a long British love affair with Italy, Abruzzo was actually somewhere that people did not know that well. Now, yes, the highest percentage of overseas homeowners in Abruzzo may be British, but compared to other parts of Italy, that's not particularly high at all. So we went ahead with the project, and we were quite a long way through it. In fact, Luciano was just delivering his manuscript to us, the very week he was delivering his manuscript to us, when the earthquake hit L'Aquila. We were then faced, from a commercial point of view, with a decision to make. What do we do? Do we go ahead with the book, or do we not? There was absolutely no doubt in our minds that we should go ahead with this book. Abruzzo, we knew, deserved coverage. It needed a guidebook out there, and we know from experience of publishing guides to other places that have not had guides, that in doing so, we encourage visitors to go to those regions. People browsing in bookshops find this book on the shelves. People looking on the internet find this book on the shelves. And the big network that we have of authors, sales agents, marketing people, all the rest of it, in around 70 countries around the world, now know about Abruzzo and are all talking about it. So we carried on with the book, and we made some amendments to it, doing the best we could in the earthquake-hit areas to try and reflect the extent of the damage and the time that is estimated for repair to be done. But Abruzzo is about so much more than that, and that's really the message which I've been trying to spread to people I talk to, that it is, to me, in 20 years of travel publishing and in 20 years of visiting Italy, all parts of Italy, my experience in Abruzzo was one of the most authentic Italian experiences I have ever had. It came as something of a surprise. I knew I was going to like Abruzzo, but I had no idea just how much I would love it. I was only there for a short time, and boy did we travel around the whole area, through all 4 provinces to more hilltop towns than I can mention. I really just came away thinking this is a part of the world that we have to champion as much as possible. Europe is not just about Umbria and Tuscany, as lovely as they are. There are other parts of Italy, Abruzzo being one of them, which really deserve attention. So, what is it that I liked about Abruzzo, and what is it that our guide champions? Well, a lot of it has been mentioned already this evening. I've already said about the people, actually. I met an awful lot of people when I was in Abruzzo, and their absolute belief in love of their own area came through loud and clear. Now that's something which you don't find everywhere in the world these days. There's an awful lot of countries and regions which are rather apathetic about tourism, they maybe take it for granted. But in Abruzzo, people still love their area, they know how wonderful it is, and they're really keen to see visitors. The welcome I received was fantastic. The culture has been mentioned, the history also, outdoor life, and the wildlife. Bradt has a history of publishing books, particularly also on wildlife. And it's probably a reflection of my ignorance that I didn't know before I went to Abruzzo that there are still wolves and bears there. But I take that as a UK resident as something quite amazing, that you can go to Europe, you can go to Italy, and still go and see wolves and bears in the wild. Now that's something which we should talk about.
Buonasera a tutti e grazie prima di tutto. Allora, noi vi abbiamo portato un piccolo promemoria di quella che è la cultura e soprattutto i prodotti enogastronomici di qualità dell'Abruzzo. Vi abbiamo portato dei salumi, dei formaggi, in particolare per quanto riguarda i salumi c'è un prodotto che si chiama mortadelline di Campotosto, detto anche coglioni di mulo in dialetto, in gergo, che è un salume che si fa proprio vicino al lago di Campotosto, cioè soltanto in quella zona. E un pecorino, ci sono anche altri prodotti, però in particolare un pecorino detto pecorino di Farindola, che ha la particolarità di essere prodotto con il caglio fatto con lo stomaco del maiale. Qualcuno abbia ancora la voglia di fare delle domande o correre al buffet, comunque io vi auguro buon appetito.